Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Good. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Wireless 1. Good. Wireless 2. Good.
Turn it on. It's not hot now.
No, it's not hot now.
Okay.
Green button come over when it's hot.
Okay. We got moved back. How you looking now?
We good.
Alright, alright. Steven,
Are those back in the room?
Working on it. You got me, Barb? I'll take that as a yes.
what was that do? Olave?
Octave.
Octave?
Visitors, I don't know.
Yeah. They should, I thought they would like, deny him, because he was in rhythm. They were searching switches, they were getting him. He was in rhythm, they would go wide when he got the ball to this
Wow,
way,
right away the perfect
to make it harder.
That's what I'm saying.
They should deny him. Deny him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I literally checked right now.
Yeah.
That dude's hot, boy.
No, yeah.
No, the kid that showed at the end that Nelson's 0 for 6, 0 for 5.
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
when they
talking
got the
about
rebound, the kid that put it up,
The Otave.
all you do is hold it, he's gonna get fouled. Of course, that might have worked out better.
I was gonna say, in the end,
He's the one who missed the winning shot
Right.
this year.
yeah.
Cross is coming now.
They
We're gonna have a
threw.
mic tosser. Drew, you have one. Somebody have the second one?
What? I got it
Okay.
right here.
I'm gonna have somebody park it right there and pass the mic down.
Who we get? Coach in two or?
You said come in.
This one?
Shoulder too broad, bro. Shoulder too broad.
Just too big.
Bone structure, that ain't fat. That's your bone structure, man. That's what I tell myself.
I got him, Doug. I gave him to him.
Coach Paulson, Senior Guard Bro Montgomery, Senior Guard Joe Octave. Coach, you want to make an opening statement?
Yeah, a great win for our guys. Especially we were up, in the last minute and a half at Siena and let that one slip away. And we talked about teachable moments and growing, and I thought our guys did it. At the under 8-minute media timeout, I think we're down 9, and we just said let's cut to 5. At the under 4-minute media timeout, I think we had 8 straight defensive possessions that we stopped them. So I think our second half defense, especially, was really really good. To out rebound that team by 10. Is a phenomenal effort. I thought we did a much better job on the glass in the second half. And then obviously these two seniors, just made some gritty plays, some heady plays, and that's what you need to do. So really satisfied. We said if we won a big game, we haven't arrived. We've got a lot of work to do. We got to keep getting better. If we lose a game, we're not done for. But I think it's a great building block to hopefully just cement our guys' belief in our system and what we're doing and what they're capable of.
Coach Ron Bailey, HoyerReport.com. First off, how you doing?
I'm doing great, Ron. Good to see you.
Great to see you. Talk about the efficacy of that gap style man defense in the second half. You guys clogged it up the lane with it a little bit, and I think it put them on their heels.
Yeah, it did. And typically, and these guys, it's a little bit of adjustment because I would prefer not to have to clog it up that much and not give up threes. Normally I wouldn't want to give up 11 made threes, but we just said, we had to kind of choose our poison, and their athleticism, and obviously Epps, can get downhill. Cook is a monster inside. Styles I think can really get to the paint, and we just felt like we just really had to exaggerate being in the gaps and really helping, and to try to win the battle on the glass. And it wasn't perfect, but for the most part, we did a good job.
Dave, I know you initially said that right out of the chute there that this doesn't mean you arrive or anything, but just how much does a victory like this help, given that you're in year one and you're obviously looking to build things here?
I mean, I think, again, like as I said, I think it helps validate. Like, these guys have worked their rear ends off, and they've been coachable, and they've let me coach them hard. They've been responsive. These two seniors have led the way, not only in their work ethic, but also in being held accountable, in less than gentle ways from time to time, right? And so you just want to validate these guys deserve to win, right? They've worked so hard, they've bought in, and these guys have been through some ups and downs. These two guys especially have been through some ups and downs. So I'm just really gratified, for them to see that. And as I said, hopefully now it's a building block to continue to get better.
How much did it help that you had already had real game experience at a game similar to this where you're down by so throughout the game and take the lead late? I know you didn't hold it against Siena, but tonight, how did it help that these guys have been through it?
I think it helped quite a bit because I think all those guys were kicking themselves like, we should have won that one, right? And we fought, we scratched, and we clawed, and everyone's like, oh, you guys, really showed a lot of progress, and that's all well and good, but you want to come away with a victory.
And what did you see maybe on film with Georgetown, or whether it's part of your offense, all the cuts that you were able to get 2 feet in the paint, all the finishes you had at the rim, especially in the first half? I think you had 16 paint points in the first half. Where did that success come from?
It's what we want to do. Is the touch of paint. We don't. I thought our front court guys gave us a really good effort, but we don't have like a, an old school back to the basket, post up guy. So you have to score from the inside out, and we got to do it by committee. So Joe did it, Bo did it, Will Batchelder did it. We got some back cuts, and that's how we have to play. Paint touch and assists by committee, not necessarily one. We don't have a point guard per se. We have 3 or 4 guys that are capable of playing with the ball and making decisions, and that's what we want to do. We got some for our guys here. They're getting bored. They're tired of listening to me talk.
I'll do 2 for Joe. John Titel from Hoops HD. 33 points, 11 boards, 0 turnovers. Number 1, was this the best performance of your life? And number 2, as a guy who played at Air Force, is it extra special to do it on Veterans Day?
Yeah, it's probably the best performance of my life, I would say. To do it against a Big East opponent on a special day, it means a lot. And, being at Air Force, having that experience, I was a little motivated. So just the whole national anthem, seeing their ROTC come out, that was cool for me. And I just had to take a moment. So, it was definitely a big performance, but if we didn't win, I don't know. I'm just happy we won, happy we did it for Coach Paulson and the guys.
Bo, I'll throw a couple your way. First off, just defensively, what did you think kind of switched for you guys there in the last 8 minutes or so? And secondly, having been through a few seasons here, just how meaningful is it to get a victory like this?
Yeah, defensively, we just followed what Coach said. We played in our gaps a little more than we usually do, and we just hustled on the rebounds. We, like you said, we was plus 10 on the boards. So it's just credit to our, hard work and everything in practice. And, it's a big just, being here. And for 4 years, senior is just the biggest one in my life. So, I'm just happy. All glory to God.
Number one, first off, how do you pronounce your last name?
Octave.
Octave. Okay. Were you surprised that they didn't really run and jump at you when you were in Fuego, when you got hot? Were you expecting like doubling to get the ball out your hands?
I was expecting it a little bit. They kind of switched up their coverage. They went ice on me and Bo for the most part. So they did change it up, but like I said, we've played through a lot of scenarios. Coaches just prepared us for these moments, and we just continue to make in-game progression. So.
Last question.
Dave, obviously that last play there, or the offensive rebound and the three-pointer attempt right after that probably wasn't what you were looking for there with about 8 or 9 seconds to go. How did you kind of get – fair to say. Fair to say.
Yes.
How did you kind of quickly try to move past that in that timeout, and just – not that timeout you could really do much quick since it felt like it took 5 minutes or so.
It did feel like it took 5 minutes. Yeah, well, I had Bryson Johnson, R.J. Evans, and Ted Rawlings all telling me, calm down, don't kill him, coach. Calm down. We'll talk to him afterwards. And but at that point, there's nothing you can do, and the kid feels as bad about it as anyone. And what I thought was good is, Will Batchelder, who was as good a shooter as I've coached, he struggled. He had some open looks. He had a great one from Joe. But I thought this was his best defensive game I've seen, and so – one night tonight is Joe, it might be Bo, it might be Will, and we just, those guys, I looked and Joe and Bo and the other guys, they went and grabbed them, you're all right, we love you. And that's what families do. And a lot of teachable moments, but as I've said many times, way better to teach from a win than a loss. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Good luck. Good seeing you too.
Thank you.
Good
to
luck,
see
man.
you. Take care.
Y'all got a good guy as a coach, man.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Good dude.
Got a good local guy coming in next year, too.
Oh yeah, who you got?
Tyler Boston from Bullis.
Oh, he's coming.
Yep.
You got a good one coming.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a good one coming.
I watched them up close last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they played Georgetown.
Oh okay. So he ain't bad.
Oh, they got real D1. D1's out there.
They don't have dorms.
No,
That's not a board.
right.
You ever been out there with them?
Yeah, I went out there.
Yeah. Yo.
But that jump is like a
Yo.
club
I'm
campus.
Yeah. Like some Croatian shit.
They're not doing bad for themselves.
At all.
Once it's on video.
At all.
His word for word.
Is this so?
They all take the sheets.
You can have these couple.
I'll just grab them. You got them in the media room.
No, he didn't come. There was a practice for him, but he wasn't.
They would not be
He wasn't here.
Just coach.
That's what it looked like. Are they on their way? Yeah. Oh, I guess that means yes.
All right. There's a lot of things you can start first. Congratulations to Holy Cross. You know what I'm saying? I thought they played a very smart game. They made some timely shots. Thought we missed some timely shots, some free throws down the stretch. Simple things I thought beat us today. But you got to give them credit. I thought they were well coached. I thought the kids played with an edge and a toughness. I'm very, very grateful for our crowd that came out, in particular our students. Very, very excited about that. And hopefully they continue to stay there with us and believe in us as we're climbing this incredible mountain. I think it's a disappointing loss because I think our practices have been good. But, as you're trying to teach men and rebuild a culture,
it's important that you play with incredible intelligence, and I don't think we did. I didn't think we played smart down the stretch. Bad fouls. We didn't block out. I believe we're up 2 on just a free throw block out. You know what I mean? So a lot of that's on me. So in the finer points of the game, I got to do a better job teaching our men how to deal with that. And Holy Cross was excited to come in. Let's call it what it is. They're on the road in the Big East game, and this is their Super Bowl. And it definitely showed, right? They played with a little bit more energy, a little bit enthusiasm, and I thought our men played content. So I got to do a way better job. You know, I think we got our work cut out. But this is part of the process of development. This is part of the process of growing. These are the pains you got to go through, right? I think we played hard. But I'll say this every single time. When you play with intelligence and understanding and purpose, you're normally successful. When you play with, I want to be really careful with my words here. When you play with a lack of knowledge and you play haphazardly, you're not going to have success over the course of 40 minutes. Not happening. I thought we were weak today. I don't think we played with a chip today. I didn't think we were edgy today. We played complacent, we played arrogant, and we didn't play with a sense of purpose. But, you know, Holy Cross did. Give them credit. We're off tomorrow. We're prepared for 2 days, and I'm excited about this Gavitt game as the Big East is going to go into these Gavitt games, so we'll see what it is.
And their offensive rebounding, how much, I think they had 6, I think it was basically 50-50, their offensive rebounds to your defensive rebounds. Just how much of a concern, not just for tonight, but moving forward is that?
We're going to have to address that, and that's one of the things we talked about. I think rebounding, regardless of your size, regardless of your talent, rebounding is a will and a want and an attitude. And right now, my team just don't have it. My team is relying on the shirt name. They're relying on Georgetown. They better rely on each other because we got our ass kicked on the glass. We will address that. I promise you we'll address that.
They deployed a gap-style defense second half, and it seemed to put you guys on your heels. Is that a fair assessment? Did you have problems attacking that gap-style defense?
I don't think we had a problems attacking it. I just didn't think we played. I didn't think the ball moved. I think the ball stuck. I think we had 15 assists. We normally going to get 20 to 22 assists a game. I thought we took some really tough shots, especially coming down the stretch, right? As bad as we played, I mean, we couldn't play the bad game. I couldn't have coached the worst game, right? We missed free throws, right? We had 2 fouls down the stretch where I believe they converted 3 out of 4, and the one that they missed, they turned into a 3, right? That to me is just not disciplined basketball, right? But it's one game. It really hurts. But there's a lot of basketball to be played, and there may be some more disappointment to come. But that's the part of development. That's the part of organizing, and just got to keep moving forward, man. I'm not going to feel sorry for ourselves. We'll get better.
What did you see from the sidelines with their success to be able to score in the paint? They had 16 by halftime. I think they ended up with 38, and it seemed like every way possible cuts.
Gross. It was a lack of toughness on my team's behalf. It was a lack of leadership on my team's behalf with respect to not coming together. I'm saying this again. Defense and rebounding is a will and a want. When you have a team like that, you'll start to win games where you're not scoring the ball and the other team is playing really good defense. Because you got to give them credit. They forced us to miss, and they won the game. I don't want to take one thing away from Holy Cross. But we're not trying to compete against Holy Cross in the Big East. So that's a huge mountain for us to climb. Very, very disappointed in my team's energy, effort, and attitude. And that starts with me.
And you mentioned that the ball kind of started sticking there. Do you think that was just simply because of how tight the game was? It wasn't anything they were doing in particular?
No, we were just selfish. I mean, you know, we're not playing against the 5 Slammer Jam or the Georgetown team of the '84. That was just selfish basketball on my team's behalf. And that's not throwing them under the bus. That's just saying, hey, we got to get better and move the ball and move bodies.
John Titel from Hoops HD. When you face a red-hot scorer like Octave, what is your philosophy as a coach in terms of, do you just hope that the guy guarding him can take care of it, and if not, you try somebody else, or do you do a box and one or a double team or something else?
We wouldn't go a box and one. We had multiple people guarding him. I mean, we're going to play against a lot of players like him in the Big East. Longer, more athletic, shooter, driver, pros. That's the challenge, baby. That's why I'm sitting in this seat. And I want to make sure I take 1,000% credit for this loss. Coaches lose games, players win games. And I did a shitty job coaching my group today. And I'll do a better job come Wednesday night.
Ed, you've obviously, preached patience for months now. In your other rebuilds, have you had moments like this, and how have you rebounded from them?
I've been in this business 30 years, son. This ain't the worst loss. This won't be the last loss. This is the pain of growth and development, right? Remember the first article you wrote? How many other bad articles have you had? Right? Not you personally, I'm saying you, the writer, to TV screen. So we all don't have good days. And this is part of the pain of growth and development. It's everybody wants to win. Everybody that came out to see that today, I'm so proud of that. I'm so proud of that. But sometimes there's disappointment, and in disappointment there's growth. There's opportunity for us to improve, right? And I know this entire room wanted us to win. I can feel it from you. But you know what? Sometimes it just ain't right, and we got to get better for it. I mean,
you just mentioned you've been coaching a long time. Usually there's a couple things I look at, the kind of ingredients to losses. I'm looking at some irregularities here with, great three-point defense. Usually teams like Holy Cross, one of the ingredients is getting hot from deep. You guys had 4 turnovers. Are those unusual things that you're seeing?
The numbers say you should have won, right? So analytically, right, you should have won the game, which I agree. You outscore them by 18 from 3. You only turn the ball over 4 times. But if they're 20 for 34 from 2s and you're not, those analytics go out the door. So to me, I'm not an analytics coach. You either do it or you don't. There's no analytics on will, want, desire, passion, and effort. There's no analytic to that. You know what that's called? Recruiting. That's what that's called. That's called recruiting, right? So again, we'll go through this right now. We'll have our time. Give them a lot of credit, man. They came into a great arena. They got a game, and we got to get past it quick. We can't have a hangover from this because we got to go on the road to the Big Ten, and we're going to play in front of a sold-out house.
Yep. Coach, one thing sticking out here is that you were outscored in the paint 38-18. How are you looking to rectify that moving forward?
Put somebody out there where we can get some stops in the paint. You know what I'm saying? Again, I've said this entire presser. Will and want. Will and want. Got to play with a little bit more sense of urgency and physicality. This is normally the DNA of our organization is about toughness, about commitment to defense, about commitment to unselfishness, and those things went out the window today for whatever reason.
Yeah, you mentioned at the beginning, the student section is pretty packed tonight. What are your thoughts on the support you've gotten from the Georgetown community so far?
I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful, and I hurt for our community. To have that level of support to come out, and for us to play the way we played. That's where I thought we played content. I thought we played arrogant. I didn't think we didn't match the energy that was in the building. We didn't give the crowd a chance to get behind us the way we needed. Whenever you're in these games and you let teams hang around, anything's possible. A missed shot here, missed free throw, 3-ball, right? Here's the deal, guys. The sun's going to come up tomorrow. This is not going to define what type of season we're going to have, whether it's good or bad. I am going to build a program built on resilience, and we're going to build a program that everybody will be proud of. It's not today, and that's okay, right? But over the course of our tenure here, this room will have a lot of exciting times, and these questions will all be flipped in the other way. It's just not today. It may not be tomorrow or next week or even this year, but it's about what we're building, the seeds that are in the ground. That tree is going to be built, and that fruit on that tree is going to be really, really sweet. It's just sour right now. I'm getting the hell out of here.
Is that it?